Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to show you 5 different virtual labs that are very useful for every computer science student. All these virtual labs that I am going to show are freely available and no need to pay even single rupee. So let's start with these virtual labs. So first one in my list is V Labs provided by the MHRD Government of India initiative. VLab provides different virtual labs in 9 different streams of engineering and sciences. All these virtual labs are designed by Indian premier institutions like IITs, NITs, IIITs, and most prestigious universities across the India. So to access these virtual labs, you need to open this URL in your browser. So I'm going to open this URL and I'm going to show you how to use these virtual labs. Now scroll down to the bottom of the web page and just open the hyperlink computer science and engineering. At present, at the time of recording this video, totally 20 virtual labs are ready for use in different domains, designed and completely maintained by the different Indian institutions. Now I am going to show you few examples on how to use these virtual labs. So let's open basics of HTML lab. Here on the left hand side, click on list of experiments. So you can observe we have 10 different experiments in this virtual lab. You just click on any one of the experiment you are interested in. So I'm going to select experiment number 6, creating tables in HTML. So in this experiment, we have different particulars like aim, theoretical part of the experiment, and pre-test. Pre-test is nothing but student can take one simple test before going into the experiment. So to test his previous knowledge about the experiment, and the procedure is going to explain the basic procedure of creating tables in HTML, and the simulation is the place where actual experiment is going to be performed. So I am going to click on simulation. I am going to open simulation of this experiment. And one important thing that you need to remember is the simulation part of the experiment is going to change based upon the domain and based upon the type of the experiment. Now, getting into the simulation part of this experiment, you can divide this experiment into two parts. First part is allowing students to know different attributes that are important for creating a table, and the second portion will actually allow the student to write his own code. Coming to the first portion, uh, these are the required attributes to create a table: number of rows, number of columns, and table alignment, background color, as well as thickness of the border, and width, as well as height of the table. Attributes and their values. Student is going to enter attributes and their values, and he is going to click on submit. Immediately, based upon the attributes and the given values, table is automatically generated. This will help. This kind of simulation is going to help our students to better visualize how the experiment is going on. So this experiment is also allowing student to write his own code. He can type his own code here. Immediately, the output of the code written by the student, you can see the output of the code is available in the preview section itself. And here you can see one drop down list. This drop down list is just uh, is theme for the text editor. That's it. There is no other concept here. This drop down list represents the different types of themes that you can use, that a student can use when writing his code. Now I'm going to show you one more example for these virtual labs. So go back to the list of virtual labs available to you, and you can see we have different types of virtual labs. Here I'm going to select data structures lab. So in data structures lab, click on list of experiments. So you can see we have different types of experiments available. You just select any one of them. Here I'm going to select sorting using arrays. So go to the simulation part of the experiment. In the simulation part of the experiment, you can see uh, there are certain prerequisites to run this simulation. You just click on it. And you can observe that to run this simulation, it is mandatory to have a Flash plugin. So in this document, you can see different instructions related to the Flash plugin. So to run this simulation, the browser needs to have the Flash plugin. So already my browser is provided with the Flash plugin. So now I'm going to select one of these experiments. I'm going to select Mudsort. One pop-up window like this will appear to you. This is the simulation part of the merge sort. Here you can observe we have three different cases: best case, worst case, and random input. Click on random input and provide the list of elements that are needed to be sorted. So 12, 33, 67, 52, 45, 11, and 0, and then press enter. So after that, if you want to start the simulation of the experiment, just click on play button. This simulation is going to animate each and every stage of the Mozart, and it definitely make your student to understand the concept very clearly. So during this animation, you can also observe that textual explanation of each and every step is provided at the bottom of the window. At any point of time, you can pause this experiment and you can just play it. This animation is going to stop once all the elements in the given list is get sorted. So our experiment is completed. So this is how we are going to perform a simple experiment using virtual labs. These simulation based virtual labs are great initiative provided by the government of India. These virtual labs provided by VLab is not fixed. Now this VLab is present in its fourth edition. If you want to know more information about different editions of these virtual labs, you just click on the edition number. In this document, you will have the entire information about the newly developed and upcoming labs available in the virtual lab. So this is all about MHRD's virtual lab. It is a great initiative. And the next virtual lab that I am going to show is linuxzoo.net. linuxzoo.net provides a free private Linux virtual machine with root access. This linuxzoo.net supports C programming through GCC compiler, G++ compiler, and it supports Python 2.75 version, and it provides Bash to support Unix programming, and it doesn't support the MySQL as well as all other Python 3 versions. To make use of this virtual machine, you just open this URL linuxzoo.net in your browser. LinuxZoo provides one virtual machine called CentOS with an username root and with a password secure. To make use of this CentOS virtual machine, you need to create an account with LinuxZoo. On the right hand side of this web page, you will find one drop down list. Click on the drop down list and you will find an option register for an account. Click on register for an account. You will be automatically redirected to the user registration page. To proceed registration, click here. You will be redirected to the user registration page. There you need to provide email, your password, first name, last name. There is no need of any matriculation number or authorization code. And for program info, in the drop down list, you need to select just interested, and you need to accept their terms and conditions and click on register. Once you click on register, you will be getting one web link to your mentioned email ID, and you need to confirm your account. After confirming your account will be available to you immediately. If you are not confirming your account within 14 days, your account is automatically deleted forever. So if you complete this registration process, go back to the home page, go back to the login page, and here you need to provide your email ID as well as password to login, and press on login button. Click on join queue. So the current virtual machine that is available, CentOS 7. So to power on this virtual machine, you need to click on switch on. So it takes some time to complete the boot process. We need to wait until the completion of boot process. After completion of boot process, you can see that boot progress is equal to complete. So now you need to switch on to the connect tab, and here you will find different options. So you need to click on SSH. Click on SSH. A new tab will be open in the web browser. What happening is your virtual machine is connected through common gateway interface. You can access your virtual machine through common gateway interface in this tab itself. Now login as a root. The password is secure. After successful login into the virtual machine, now I'm going to test whether this virtual machine supports GCC compiler, G++ compiler as well as Python compiler. So I have already written few programs and I'm going to test them now. So starting with the GCC compiler, GCC space f1.c. So f1.c is the program written by me. So it is successfully compiled. Now I am going to execute it. Dot slash a dot out. Program is successfully compiled. In the same way, I am also going to test G++ compiler, G++ space f2.cpp. This is the C++ program. So it is also successfully compiled. And now I am going to execute that object file dot slash a dot out. So C++ program is also executed. Now check whether the Python compiler present or not. Simply type the command Python and press enter. So now you can see we have Python 2.75 version. So I'm going to quit this interactive mode of the Python. I'm going to quit this interactive mode of the Python. Quit. I'm going to test whether the Python 3 is present or not. So as I said, Linux Zoo virtual machine at present it doesn't support Python 3 plus versions. At the same time, it also doesn't support MySQL. Now, if you want to write any program or script, you can make use of Nano Editor, Nano space example dot py. So this is my Python script. I'm going to write this script with the help of Nano Editor. Just press enter now. So this is the Nano Editor. I have already written this program. So if you have any modifications, you can modify. And if you want to save this file, simply press Ctrl O and enter. And if you want to get out of the editor, simply press Ctrl X. So this is how we can make use of Nano Editor to write scripts and programs. Now I am going to execute this program using Python compiler. Python space example.py. So this is how we can execute Python scripts also. This is how we can work with Linux Zoo virtual machine. We can use it for C programming, C++ programming, Python programming, as well as we can use its bash for Unix programming also. Now go back to the Linux Zoo control panel. In the control panel of the Linux U, if you want to switch off your virtual machine, you can simply click on pull out power. Whatever files you have created in your virtual machine session, all those files will be persisted permanently. So there is no need to worry, and there is no need to worry about the amount of time left. You can simply click on pull out of power. So your virtual machine is going to be turned off. It takes some time. So after completion of shutdown, you can simply log off to your account, and whenever you require to use this virtual lab again, you can simply log back to your account and you can open your SSH session and you can make reuse of all your files. This is how we can use Linux Zoo virtual machine as a virtual lab for our students. I'm going to show three more virtual labs in another video. I request every one of you to watch part 2 video also. Thank you for watching my videos.